Title: The Year 536, the Darkest Chapter in Human History. An in-depth exploration. In the annals of history, the term worst year ever is often bandied about casually, especially in the realm of social media, but for a compelling reason, the year 536 stands out as the most devastating in human history. This is the story of that year, a tale of darkness, famine, and disease that echoes through the ages. But before we delve into the horrors of 536, subscribe to our channel, the Weird History Channel, and let us know what historical mystery you'd like us to unravel next. Our tale begins in Sicily, where Byzantine historian Procopius, serving as a military advisor to Belisarius, one of the Byzantine Empire's most distinguished generals, found himself witnessing a peculiar phenomenon. Procopius wrote of a sun that gave forth light without brightness, as if the sun were in eclipse, and the light it shed was not clear, nor such as it is accustomed to shed. The sun was dim, and it seemed like night had fallen during the day. This eerie darkness was far from isolated. Michael the Syrian, a Byzantine scribe, would later write of this period. The sun became dark, and its darkness lasted for 18 months. Each day it shone for about 4 hours, and still, this light was only a feeble shadow. Everyone declared that the sun would never recover its full light. The fruits did not ripen, and the wine tasted like sour grapes. The sun's strange behavior cast a pall over the globe, darkening the sky for at least a full year in 536. Researchers later discovered evidence of a massive volcanic eruption, whose ash likely contributed to the gloomy weather, spreading ash and destruction on a global scale. The grape-souring effects of the volcanic dust were just the beginning of 500's wrath. Plants require sunlight for growth and survival. With the sun hidden behind a veil of ash, crop output around the world suffered a severe blow, sparking a widespread famine. The chill in the air didn't help matters either. Temperatures dropped between 1.6 and 2.5 degrees Celsius, making it difficult for crops to grow. But the troubles of 536 didn't end there. The weakened immune systems of vitamin D-deprived populations made them easy targets for disease. A plague known as the Justinian Plague swept through the empire, from the lower classes all the way to the imperial palace. Symptoms began with a sore that formed on the palm of the hand, and progressed until the afflicted one could not take a step. The legs swelled, then the boils burst and pus came out. The plague made Constantinople a stinking, sickly metropolis. The city's streets were filled with the rotting corpses of the dead, and the air was thick with the stench of disease. Emperor Justinian ordered the bodies to be removed from the city, but this only exposed more people to the disease, as healthy people were responsible for moving the deceased. In China, around the same time, the climate began to behave erratically. Rains of dust, measurable by the scoopful, fell from the sky. The Nan-Chi, a 6th century chronicle, reported a yellow ash-like substance falling from the sky, which they named Huai, or dust. Whether this was volcanic ash or some random climate anomaly is not known, but it marked the beginning of China's climate disruption. Summer weather events became rare and unseasonable, with frost in the midsummer and snow in August. The crops were not prepared for this cold snap, and summer crops were destroyed. The city of Hsinchu, along with others, was thrown into a deadly famine that lasted for 2 years, resulting in the deaths of around 70 to 80% of the population. Researchers discovered evidence deep in the ice sheets of Iceland and Greenland that indicated a major volcanic event occurred around 536. Volcanic eruptions in Iceland in 540 and 547 further darkened the skies and blocked out the sun, plunging the 6th century into the literal Dark Ages. Some scholars have suggested a volcano in El Salvador as a contributor to the dark skies around the world, while others pointed to a volcanic eruption in North America. When combined with the Icelandic volcano eruptions, it kicked off what was adorably called the Late Antique Little Ice Age. This cute little ice age cooled the planet for at least a decade and resulted in the death of crops and subsequently people. Both directly through starvation and indirectly, a malnourished population was more susceptible to diseases, of which there were plenty running around. The Roman Empire had migrated east to Constantinople by the 6th century, and under the guiding hand of Emperor Justinian, the Romans sought to regain the glory days of the empire. Their efforts were met with limited success, as constant uprisings and imperial instability hindered their progress. The horrors of 536 didn't discriminate. The Mocha civilization of Peru wasn't spared either. The Mocha civilization, a once dominant force in the region, were known to be avid fishermen and developers of an advanced irrigation system that allowed a variety of crops to grow. Their agricultural talents were the backbone of their economy, but the weather conditions in the 6th century caused their pocketbooks to take a deep hit. An unusually strong El Niño weather system caused waters to warm, which decimated the fish supply. The freak weather system also caused heavy flooding, which ruined their irrigation systems and devastated their ability to grow enough food to feed their people. People, tired of listening to Twitter users' claims that 536 was the worst year ever, set out to set the record straight once and for all. In 1998, a group of scholars, led by Harvard historian Michael McCormick, came together to study metal usage, coinage, and changes to the 7th century monetary systems. Somewhere in this thrilling subject matter, one probably began to ponder if they were living in the worst year to be alive. Their findings included an analysis of volcanic fragments from an Icelandic volcano and ice core samples from Swiss glaciers, confirming the volcanic event that thrust a good portion of the northern hemisphere into unprecedented darkness, setting off a global catastrophe. While the events of 536 were the spark for some truly literal dark days in our planet's history, the researchers were also able to find the moments things really started to turn around. When researching coinage, they noticed the reappearance of lead in the ice core samples, indicating that people were producing silver again for money. Ah, capitalism, the life force of us all. Experts argued the prevalence of silver meant more coins were being produced, which was a sign of a thriving economy. However, the recovery was not immediate. The effects of the volcanic eruption and the subsequent climate disaster lingered for years, causing continued hardship for many civilizations. It took several decades for the world to return to a semblance of normalcy, and even then, the memories of the dark year of 536 would linger for centuries. The story of 536 is a reminder of the fragility of human existence and the unpredictable nature of our world. While we may face challenges and hardships in our modern day, we can take solace in the knowledge that we have the resilience and ingenuity to overcome even the darkest of times. So what do you think? Would you like to go into a time machine and play the ultimate game of Survivor? Let us know in the comments below. And while you're at it, check out some of these other videos from our Weird History channel. Our quest for knowledge continues, and we hope you'll join us on this fascinating journey through time. As we delve deeper into the annals of history, it becomes increasingly clear that the year 536 was not just a bad year, but a pivotal moment in human history. The effects of the volcanic eruption and the subsequent climate disaster reverberated for decades, affecting civilizations across the globe. The sun's dimming and the resulting famine, disease, and social upheaval were so severe that some historians have even suggested that the events of 536 marked the end of the Classical Age and the beginning of the Middle Ages. But the story of 536 is not just a tale of darkness and despair. It is also a story of resilience and survival. Despite the odds, civilizations managed to adapt and recover, rebuilding their societies and moving forward. The events of 536 may have been a turning point in history, but they were not the end of the story. In the years that followed, civilizations would continue to face challenges and hardships, but they would also continue to innovate and grow. The Dark Ages would give way to the Renaissance, and the Enlightenment would give way to the Industrial Revolution. Today, we stand on the shoulders of giants, the products of millions of years of evolution and adaptation. The year 536 may have been the darkest chapter in human history, but it was also a chapter in a much larger story. A story of progress, of innovation, and of the indomitable human spirit. And as we continue to explore the mysteries of the past, we are reminded that no matter what challenges we may face, we have the capacity to overcome them and move forward. So let us remember the year 536, not as a symbol of despair, but as a reminder of our resilience and our strength. Let us take inspiration from those who came before us, who faced their own challenges and hardships, and who persevered in the face of adversity. And let us carry on, moving forward into the future with hope, optimism, and a determination to make the world a better place. Subscribe to our channel, The Weird History Channel, and join us on this journey through time. Let us know what historical mystery you'd like us to unravel next, and we'll do our best to bring you the answers. Our quest for knowledge continues, and we hope you'll join us on this fascinating journey through the annals of history. Additional details, examples, and explanations. The volcanic eruption that caused the darkness in 536 is believed to have occurred in Iceland, but the exact location is still debated among scientists. Some theories suggest the volcano was located in either Iceland, North America, or even Central America. The effects of the volcanic eruption were not limited to just the northern hemisphere. Evidence suggests that the skies were darkened in the southern hemisphere as well, with records of people in India and Africa describing the sun as being red or copper-colored. The effects of the volcanic eruption were not just limited to the climate and agriculture. The eruption also caused a decrease in solar radiation, which affected the Earth's ozone layer, leading to an increase in ultraviolet radiation. This caused a spike in skin cancer cases, further adding to the toll of the Dark Ages. The Justinian plague is believed to have been the second pandemic of bubonic plague, caused by the bacterium Yersinia pestis. The plague is named after Emperor Justinian III, who ruled the Byzantine Empire during the time of the pandemic. The effects of the Justinian plague were not just limited to the Byzantine Empire. The plague spread rapidly and affected Europe, Africa, and Asia, killing millions of people and causing widespread devastation. The plague is believed to have contributed to the decline of the Roman Empire, the end of the Classical Age, and the beginning of the Middle Ages. The recovery from the effects of the volcanic eruption and the Justinian plague was not easy or quick. It took several decades for the world to return to a semblance of normalcy. And even then, the effects of the disaster lingered for centuries. The recovery was made more difficult by the social and political upheaval caused by the disaster, with wars, famines, and epidemics continuing to plague the world for many years. The year 536 is not the only year that has been called the worst year in history. Other contenders for the title include 1349, the year of the Black Death, and 1918, the year of the Spanish flu. However, the events of 536 stand out as particularly devastating due to the combination of the volcanic eruption, the Justinian plague, and the resulting climate disaster. The effects of the volcanic eruption and the Justinian plague were not just limited to the immediate aftermath. The disaster had long-term effects on the world, with the reshaping of political and economic landscapes, the decline of civilizations, and the emergence of new ones. The disaster serves as a reminder of the fragility of human civilization and the unpredictable nature of the world. The study of the year 536 and its effects is not just a historical curiosity. The events of 536 offer valuable insights into the ways in which civilizations can adapt and recover from disasters, as well as the ways in which disasters can shape the course of history. The study of 536 also offers a cautionary tale about the dangers of climate change and the importance of taking action to mitigate its effects. The story of 536 is not just a story of darkness and despair, but also a story of hope and resilience. Despite the odds, civilizations managed to adapt and recover, rebuilding their societies and moving forward. The story of 536 serves as a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always the possibility of hope, and that humanity has the capacity to overcome even the greatest of challenges. The study of the year 536 and its effects is ongoing, with scientists and historians continuing to uncover new evidence and insights about the disaster. The story of 536 is a fascinating and complex tale, and one that continues to captivate and inspire scholars and laypeople alike. Whether you are a history buff or just curious about the world, the story of 536 is a must-read. In conclusion, the year 536 stands out as the most devastating year in human history due to the combination of a massive volcanic eruption, the Justinian plague, and the resulting climate disaster. The effects of these events reverberated for decades, affecting civilizations across the globe and causing widespread famine, disease, and social upheaval. However, despite the odds, civilizations managed to adapt and recover, rebuilding their societies and moving forward. The story of 536 serves as a reminder of the fragility of human existence, the unpredictable nature of the world, and the indomitable human spirit. It is a tale of darkness, but also of hope, resilience, and the capacity of humanity to overcome even the greatest of challenges.